Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about Doordash Deactivation and Reactivation. So one of the major reasons why Doordash is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal is not simply because of how their deactivation system works, it's simply because of how their deactivation system works as well as their reactivation system. So with that said, I want to talk to you about what it really means to be deactivated, why someone can be deactivated in the first place, how to potentially get reactivated, and everything in between. So with that said, let's go over a disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before you apply anything you find online. So with that said, let's get started. What is Doordash Deactivation? Deactivation is the equivalent of getting fired or let go from Doordash. Doordash has found a reason to let you go from the platform and you cannot go back on. You can log into the app, you get the pop-up. You're already on the app and you're probably dashing. You're kicked off the dash. You try to schedule blocks, but for some reason they're not letting you schedule. And you refresh the app only to realize, bam, you've been deactivated. You get an email on why you were deactivated, which sometimes they do that and sometimes they don't. More on that concept later. But this is a painful experience because a lot of people's gig portfolios either was only Doordash or Doordash was kind of the main pillar of that gig portfolio and everything else was kind of just filler. But deactivations, especially wrongful deactivations, greatly affect the drivers' families, their loved ones, and even their own challenges themselves, such as debt and everything else, because that is a loss of a very dependable income. Reasons some people can be deactivated. Of course, there are plenty of reasons that someone can be deactivated, but not all of them are for the reasons you think. Bad ratings. Ratings on Doordash are probably one of the most measurable ways that you could be deactivated. You were rated poorly too many times to where your customer rating fell below a tolerable amount. Poof, you're gone. Completion rating falls below 80%. Bye-bye. The fact is, you're proving that you're not a reliable gig worker and you shouldn't be getting orders anyway. The only rating that you cannot be deactivated on is acceptance rating, which is why you should only accept orders you 100% plan on completing. Because this is the one form of deactivation you cannot appeal. Platform abuse. This is where people try to game the system or do things on the platform they definitely should not be doing. Damaging or eating customers' food or items that they ordered, providing false information to Doordash, manipulation of the referral program, which is not always abuse, but more on that later. Using another person's account or letting someone use your account. Irresponsible multi-apping. You have an order, yet you take more orders from other platforms anyway because that's more money in your mind, but that's a very dangerous way to do gig work. And other manipulative actions to try to game the system. Just play the game right and don't abuse the system. Violations of safety. So Doordash has been cracking down on safety on the platform for all parties involved. Physical or verbal assault, failing background checks, some of which are spontaneous and happen multiple times a year. Using drugs or alcohol while dashing. Seriously, I don't know why you would even do this. You're literally driving. Don't do drugs or alcohol. Speaking of, driving dangerously, which is why you never opt into any program where they can monitor your driving, but again, more on that later. Flirting or solicitation. This is not a dating app. Do not flirt with the customer. This is not a dating app. Just keep it in your pants, take it someplace else. Good rule of thumb here is that if it seems like it's a bad idea, it probably is. Contract violations stacking up. There are two types of violations. Customer reported the order never arrived or extreme lateness. Customers will report that they never got the order for a few reasons. They didn't get the order and you took it, you should be deactivated. You delivered it to the wrong address, whether it is your fault or theirs. You delivered it and they wanted a refund, which is why you need to document as much as you can in terms of where you delivered it, just in case. Make sure you take photos, have a dash cam video, things like that. And if you think that an order is running really late, you need to take preventative measures. Contact Dasher support if you have to. Mark that in the app that the order is not ready upon arrival and give your input on why. Notify the order is taking longer than 5 minutes. Ask the restaurant for an ETA and let them know that the customer customers asking, so it's not just you. Some restaurants are notorious for unreasonably long wait times, under prioritizing delivery orders, and even just withholding information such as an ETA. So if you experience a place like this, you need to add those places to your blacklist or no-go list. And if all else fails, just unassign the order before it takes too long, because you don't want to get a contract violation for a stupid reason. Usually it's 3 strikes and you're out, but if you do 100 deliveries after getting that violation, you can actually just work it off and it'll go away. But just make sure you're protecting yourself as much as possible. Mass deactivations in your area. Sometimes it's not just you. Sometimes it's just the area you're in. Mass deactivations are very normal in the gig economy, and they will deactivate you for the silliest reasons, and honestly, it's embarrassing that this is normal for them. Oh, we had a glitch and reactivate all the deactivated dashers. Meanwhile, they didn't. That's a straight lie, and they're saying that for PR. Or they will fabricate an arbitrary reason that wasn't a problem before, but suddenly it is. Or they'll just say they found a violation and just deactivate you. But that's what happens when there's a mass deactivation in your area. You got too good. Look, over time, you're not going to be seen as an ordinary gig worker. You're going to be seen as either an asset or a liability. When you're first getting started, you are seen as an asset. You're taking the bad orders. You're still learning about the platform as a whole. You didn't master identifying hidden tip orders yet. And you hop onto Top Dasher in the high pay order program because DoorDash said I'll be paid more, right? Then you get better. You're learning. You're seeing past the nonsense, and you'll learn how to profit from these apps. Now, in DoorDash's eyes, you're seen as a liability. You're not taking no-tip orders anymore. You start multi-apping in a responsible way because you're diversifying your income. You start to understand a proper dollars to mile ratio, and you apply it. You see past the nonsense that DoorDash spews out on a normal basis, spews out their marketing team on a normal basis. Just understand that the longer you use DoorDash in an intelligent way, the closer you are to the chopping block of when mass deactivations, or they just need to make some room in your area. They're not gonna want more liabilities over time. How to get reactivated. So just because you're deactivated doesn't mean you don't have options to potentially get back on the platform. Appeal deactivation. So you could go through a forum on DoorDash, fill it out, present as much evidence as possible, video, audio, photos to appeal your case, and maybe they will let you come back, but this is a very rare case in itself. You can only submit an appeal with DoorDash if it is a violation of the independent contractor agreement, such as fraud, abuse, or safety. If it's something like ratings, then you're not going to be able to appeal. Legal rideshare. Legal rideshare actually offers a service to where they will send a letter to a department in DoorDash that requests for a reason to why you were deactivated in the event that they didn't tell you. And sometimes that little bit of pressure actually is enough to get you reactivated. However, in the event that it comes back with a reason and not you reactivated, this may not matter too much, because unless you opted out of arbitration upon sign up, you will have no choice but to go through arbitration, which is ran through an arbitrator, which is somebody who DoorDash pays to go through the whole system of arbitration, and they make a verdict on whether or not you should be let on the platform, which, if DoorDash is paying them, of course it's not going to work out for you. It's worth a shot, though. Starting a new account. So there are a few people who claim that you could start a new account by making a new email, getting a new phone number, and potentially even getting a new zip code. Making a new email is very easy. Getting a new phone number, you can't use a burner or a virtual phone number, such as Visible or Google Voice. You need to use a legitimate phone number as a monthly bill, even though Visible is 100% legitimate. I don't understand why either. I could confirm that this worked in the past, but I don't know how effective it is now. I know that Uber Lyft Phoenix has made another account only to have it deactivated, whereas other people I see out and about have second accounts literally in their hand. They have 2 DoorDash accounts on 2 phones in their hands, and no one has said anything. Some people even rent their accounts out to other people, but I don't think that's going to be viable much longer with the new ID verification system in place. But if either of these options work out for you, great. If not, it is what it is. Now, I do have some other side notes that I would like to address upon this subject. Opt out of arbitration upon sign up. So when you sign up to be an independent contractor on DoorDash, they make it so you waive your right to sue them, and you have to go through an arbitrator, which DoorDash pays, DoorDash sets up, and keeps it very private, very internal, and is often skewed to help the company and not the worker. However, within your first 30 days on the platform, you have the right to opt out of that part of your agreement. But you will have to email optout@doordash.com to make that happen. I will make a video going deeper on this in the future, but just know if you want to sue them, you do not want to go through arbitration on any gig app. Employment lawyers cannot help you. Employment lawyers do not have the necessary expertise to be able to help you as an independent contractor, because we as independent contractors do not have the rights and protections that employees have, which is good because we have more earning potential, but bad because we have less protections overall. So if you're looking to sue them and you didn't opt out of arbitration, good luck finding a lawyer that can help you or is even willing to. The new soft deactivation. So recently, DoorDash implemented an ID verification system where you have to scan your ID and do a selfie thing to verify who you say you are, which in theory is nice, but some people have been experiencing challenges with not passing and getting told did not pass or could not identify, which forces a soft deactivation where, because they couldn't identify you, you cannot be allowed on the platform. Now, I can't prove it, and because I can't prove it is why I believe it more, because I don't know if anyone can prove it, but here's my theory. This is a new form of deactivation on DoorDash's part. They can't find any dirt on you, you haven't made any violations, but you're a really smart dasher, or you're someone who is making a new account, and for that reason, they know that you had an account in the past. So they simply claim they cannot identify you, and suddenly you're off the platform, like it or not. This is a disgusting practice, and it just goes to show that DoorDash cannot be trusted as a company in this way. They stole my money. Sometimes with deactivation, they can end up keeping your money. Sometimes with deactivation, they can end up keeping the money you did not withdraw from them or Dasher Direct yet. Uberlyft Phoenix had $1,700 stolen from him by DoorDash, claiming they suspected fraud. This is yet another reason why you should never use Dasher Direct or leave your money with them for too long, because they cannot be trusted as a company, because they'll steal your money at some point. $1.99 for fast pay is high, and I get why people use Dasher Direct, but get your money out of there as quickly as possible so they don't steal any more than they already do at this point. Dash cam and body cam. I'm gonna make this simple. Get a dash cam, get a body cam. You need additional proof that you're doing your job right, and that's the best way to do that in a lot of cases. In almost every case, whether it's about DoorDash or literally any other legal case, almost always is proven with footage. That's how they solve almost every case these days. So get equipment for yourself, and so get yourself a dash cam and a body cam. Don't tell DoorDash anything. If DoorDash sends you a survey, you ignore it. If DoorDash tells you about a safe driving program, you ignore that. DoorDash is actively looking for any and every opportunity to wrongfully deactivate you. It's not worth telling them anything. You should keep them as far as a distance as possible while protecting yourself. So make sure you're just doing your orders right and tell them absolutely nothing. Careful with your influence. If you're a creator on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, be careful with your influence. You can make a lot of money doing this, but you could also put yourself at risk if you say the wrong thing. People have been deactivated for less, and giving them video proof that you're doing things you shouldn't is unwise. So be careful with what you say and do, because not only can your viewers apply what you say, but these companies are part of your viewership, so they will be watching you as well. If DoorDash doesn't want you, you're gone. Here's the harsh reality. If DoorDash wants to deactivate you, they're just going to deactivate you. They may withhold the email that claims you've been deactivated and why. They will instruct DoorDash support to not tell you why you have been deactivated, and they will claim that they can't see it, even though they absolutely can, and that's been proven. They will claim your appeal is denied because they found a violation, but they will not tell you what that violation is. And you will file for arbitration only to have them deny you again because DoorDash paid them to tell you you are denied. And that is the cancer to society that Tony Hsiu and DoorDash is. Protect yourself and prepare for the worst. This exact conversation about deactivations is the real reason that the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. It's not the work itself. It's not the industry itself. It's the companies in which you are working. They are terrible people that have unstable and very fragile accounts, and the companies cannot be trusted. So make sure your gig portfolio is very well diversified. Start that side hustle, which can eventually become your main hustle. Build that savings and emergency fund for yourself. And make sure you prepare for anything that can happen because you never know when it's you that's going to be on the chopping block. But let me ask you, did I miss anything? Is there anything else about deactivations and reactivations I did not cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that all perspectives are heard and anybody and everybody can make the best possible decisions they can for themselves. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.